They will always say, well, it's for long-term national interest or it's for long-term national security. But we're hungry now. Well, China is our biggest neighbor, our wealthiest neighbor, and we should look at economic relations not just in terms of today, but in many centuries past. The Philippines has been a safe haven. We have been hospitable to them, accommodating to them. Although, of course, in between, from the Spanish times, from the colonials to today, there's been a series or a history of persecution and isolation and trying to find ways, to sideline the Chinese. Except that the Chinese are very resilient. When they had the law disallowing the Chinese or the foreigners from going into retail trade, the Chinese had no problem. They just went into wholesale. So all the retailers had to buy from them. So they're very adaptable. You can see what happened. Singapore was nothing. And look at where Singapore is today. That was built by the Chinese that went to Singapore because they didn't like them in Malaysia at that time. The contributions of the Chinese cannot be negated. They're too far in here for too long a time. The banks, industry, etc. How do you develop a more stable relationship among foreign investors so that they can come to the country? One, first item, security. They want to feel safe. Safe from government, meaning you don't allow the Bureau of Internal Revenue to harass them. The Customs Bureau will harass them, etc. Ease of doing business. They can handle everything online. It's easy, it's comfortable, it's practical, it's productive, it's efficient, it's effective. So these are what the foreigners are looking for. Second, the foreigners come in and say, hey, what are your businessmen doing? How are your businessmen making money? Because that gives them an idea. Oh, they're making money on real estate, or they're making money on this and that. Whatever it is, they will go into that. You will expand that business. And they can here. They go into partnerships with huge conglomerates already in the country. Third, the infrastructure. How long will it take me to bring my container from a factory in Laguna to the South Harbor? How many hours in traffic will I have to suffer, etc. Communication, the internet, these things matter to foreigners. We do not have also a backup supply chain. If they put their business here, their raw materials will still have to be imported. They will have to deal with customs. Customs can be mean. Sometimes your goods are already in your warehouse and they will still charge you with smuggling and bringing out those goods illegally. They already left the customs facility. You're cleared. You should have been cleared at the gate, right? But no, you still have to answer for this, etc., etc. Business is business. Sometimes you can make a killing, sometimes you lose money. So you cannot have the Internal Revenue come to you and say, hey, you made 10 million last year. This year, you have to make 10 million again. I'm not sure. Maybe I will lose money this year, even if I made 10 million last year. What it takes to build a factory takes a really long time. We have to be able to train our own workers, manpower, become more efficient. They have a high standard of excellence, that they don't just go and, okay, no problem, that's okay, nobody will notice, so it's okay. That kind of an attitude is to go out the window. You have to be precise in your measurement. You have to be precise and accurate in the way you lay things. There's no substitute for excellence. Now, AI is coming. In many, many industries, robots are a more economic alternative to humans. Driverless cars, driverless trucks, driverless taxis, driverless buses. All these things are the future for us, but they are reality today in other countries. Are we prepared for this? Higher education now is in a very challenging situation because many high school graduates are not adequately prepared for the kind of college education at hand. So if they're not properly prepared, if the foundation, if the basics are not there, what are you going to produce in college? Some doctors who pass the board exams for medicine end up as nurses because as nurses, they can go to the United States or to Great Britain or Australia or elsewhere. A lot of engineers are working as draftsmen. The Filipino, they say, as I mentioned earlier, is in demand all over the world. Why? Because they're only looking for housekeepers. But what they got was a teacher. So the teacher, working as a housekeeper, working as a nanny, can teach the child algebra, geometry, physics, you see. So this kind of a disconnect really shows how we really have to step up. In other words, if you graduate from the Singapore University, you can be employed everywhere and anywhere as an engineer. It doesn't happen here. There are very few schools whose products are marketable. and other schools and many other schools whose products are not. And so that is the great equalizer that we have to work
Thinking
on.
about